Good morning, world. Looks like a storm is brewing. Day 17 of the Siargao lockdown. There's an eerie silence. Even the sea sounds quiet. Quick health report. We're all feeling well. No coughs, no sneezes, no symptoms. All good. We still have enough supplies for about a week. And as far as we know, this lockdown is going to last for another 2 weeks.
Did you wave at me?
How are you feeling today?
Fine.
You're fine, yeah? No worries.
Oh, I can feel some raindrops.
Yeah.
Do you call me?
Yeah. Any stress?
No.
Not feeling stressed?
No.
Feeling happy?
Yeah.
Mummy's sweeping up your sand that you brought in here, Story. Look at this. She brought all of her sand tools into the house for some strange reason.
What makes you happiest? When are you most happy?
Cuddles.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's lovely. Let me give you a cuddle and a kiss now. Oh, that's lovely. What a nice answer.
I did it also.
Can you hear the rain? There's no point in mopping up, Story. It's just going to rain back down again.
Did you see that?
Good job for trying. Well done. So I mentioned yesterday that there are only 10 passes being issued to get you through the quarantine checkpoints every day, and we've found some additional information now that basically they're all booked up for a whole week. So even if we did basically put in a request the day that, you know, the law went into effect, people had already got there before us. So
Yeah, you have to join a waiting list now.
Yeah.
So, and it's already a week long.
So what we did is we spoke to the resort manager who's got contacts and said, if there's anybody here that is already got a pass, just basically give them a shopping list, you know, because even the staff here couldn't get their pass before it went out. So
Bring it back for us.
it kind of makes sense, actually. Maybe they should have just assigned like a kind of daily shopper.
Personal shopper.
And you just give them a list and the money,
Yeah.
and then they go and get it. I don't know if that would have worked better, but you always say like, oh, if I was in power, I would have done this, but you don't know.
So much to consider, isn't there?
Yeah, you don't know what they're going through, do you?
Yeah.
So we try and be understanding. We're quite laid back people in general, and yeah, let's just hope that everything works out.
I want to tell you something. What makes you sad?
Oh, what makes me sad?
Yeah.
Not having enough cuddles.
And not having enough coffee.
No, cuddles, not coffee. But if I run out of coffee, I might be sad too.
No, I said kisses.
Yeah, okay, what makes you sad?
Or no much rain.
Not rain, you don't like it when it rains?
No.
Oh dear. It's going to water Papa's seeds that she planted to help them grow.
Should you go and see? There's green seeds.
Did you see them?
The seeds growing up.
It's good to rain, isn't it?
Just like blowing bubbles, this is another parenting hack, isn't it? Building a den seems to be universally fun.
I'll do it. Not that way.
How's the den?
It's fine. But there's little bits of hair.
There's some hair in there. It's probably yours.
It's probably yours.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't have as much hair as you though. We're about to do something very experimental. We're going to make bread in a pan.
Yes.
First time we've ever tried anything like this, but we don't have an oven, so let's see how it goes.
You have to fill up this cup with flour.
Stop.
No, keep going, it's got to be filled all the way up. Okay, and then we need a little bit more.
So this is one thing that we've missed doing since we left our house in Portugal, and that is baking. Story loves to bake with us. I went out this morning to get some supplies. I managed to find these little bags of yeast. What are you doing, Story?
Making bread.
Good job.
We'll try that out.
It's just flour.
So the main trick to making this work is to create a kind of oven out of the pan. Now, the main problem would be the water dripping off the lid. So you're supposed to make a tea towel wrap, and then all of the condensation doesn't fall on the bread. So we're interested to see if this actually works. It's the first time Story's needed, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally she uses a spoon.
Kneading.
That's right. So now we have to wait 2 hours for the dough to rise. So Story's just outside here with us having some apples. Are they tasty apples?
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
So if you want to check out the result of our bread and see how it turns out, I'm going to do some stories on Instagram, so you can check that out later on today.
Yeah, it should be very interesting to see a loaf of bread cooked in a pan.
If it does work though, that is a complete game changer
It is.
to the bread world.
It is, because that means every time we travel, we no longer have to worry about whether or not you can have a big bulky oven and stuff.
People always say, oh, we don't have an oven, we can't do this, we can't do bread. But who knows, it might work. It might not work yet though, we might be too enthusiastic at the moment, but we'll see. Are you looking forward to eating Mummy's homemade bread?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Something really bad happened this morning that we've been juggling how to share in the vlogs. You may have noticed that my mum has barely left her room today. She hasn't appeared in any of the footage. Her vegetable patch has been left untouched. It's the last thing on her mind right now. We got news that my first cousin actually passed away from the virus, and everything has just taken a completely different turn in our minds. Suddenly this has gone from something that just happens to other people to something that's happening directly to us. And without going into too many details, there's a close link with this family member. And what makes it even more difficult to digest is that it's a very recent link too. We've only just really got back in contact with this lady. There was a long period of time when, just through the passage of life, neither of us actually maintained bonds with each other. But recent family events drew us closer together, and then to find out that she's now gone from our lives this morning while we're stranded here in Siargao, so far away from everything, it's thrown our thoughts into turmoil, you know? My mum's been in tears at least 3 times today, and I've been running about like mad behind the scenes trying to make sure that we're covered, you know, that we're doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, making sure we've got enough food, making sure I'm doing my responsibilities, and that's how I grieve. It's very scary because here we are talking about what's going to happen in a week or what's going to happen in 2 weeks, but now after hearing this news, my brain is suddenly shunted to, will this ever end? Will we ever recover from this? The virus itself is one thing, but people's attitudes to what happens with this virus are a totally different ballgame and are going to take much, much longer to heal from. So for all of the people that have been directly affected by this virus, and I'm talking about really close to home, I just want to say that I'm feeling it too now. More than I did yesterday, more than I did a week ago. I will remain positive because it is the best thing to do, but we can't be naive about this. This is something that needs to be fixed globally, not just country by country or council by council. The whole world has to band together in some way, find a solution to stemming this. And afterwards, we need to make the best of a bad situation. We need to find a way to heal properly. Just like the worst wars in human history have shaped the way we go into the future, this is going to be like that. It's a completely different type of battle, but on the other side of it, we're all going to be different people. Out of respect for her family, I don't want to make this too personal, but just know that everyone here in this household is thinking about you and those whose lives you touch the most. And as one of the UK key workers that had to go to work during this crisis, we can only thank you for doing this, you know, for being that person. It can be likened to like being on the front line in a war. It's just a very different type. This has been quite difficult for me to share, much like exposing a private diary to the world. It's psychologically a little bit strange for me, but I'm trying to do it in the most respectful way possible. So on that note, I'm going to end today's video just so we can sit down and just talk about this as a family. Bye.